G'day avocado enthusiasts. A little while ago, I made a video about germinating avocado seeds in jars. And if you've watched that video, you may have remembered that one of the seeds in that time hadn't really done much. So I just left it there. That was over 6 months ago. And I'll be honest, I forgot about it. It was sitting on my shelf, but something has definitely happened now. So today, we're going to uncover exactly what's happened, and then we're going to do something about it. Okay, so I'm going to open this jar and we're going to see what's inside. Okay, so I'm just going to take the lid off and oh boy, can I actually, oh wow. It's certainly taking some kind of shape. Well, that's something. That's quite an unusual shape we have going on there. Like, check that out. What is going on? Pretty funky. It looks like it's tried to grow several branches and then it's died because it's just run into a hole or run into an edge there. And then it's grown some more and it's actually got like, looks like 3 or 4, 5 primary meristem, which is where like the end of a branch. So it's got like at least 5 branches and the end of here. So I reckon this will make for a really cool tree if I can get it out of the jar. So I'm gonna try and do that now, and I'm trying not to make a huge mess here, but we'll see. Can I just like tip it out like this? And when I say not make a huge mess, I'm gonna make a mess. That's why I've got my mat down. Oh my goodness. Wow. The roots are looking okay. There we go, all right. So that's something. That is the tree that we're dealing with here. I absolutely don't want to be planting it straight into coconut peat. It's going to just cause root rot issues. So I think it's done okay for now. In fact, the root system's looking reasonable. There's lots of secondary roots coming out of the main root, which is really twisted around the base there. So I reckon we'll be okay. I'm going to try and salvage this now and perhaps grow it as a bit of a bonsai experiment. So let's give that a go. I mean, like, that looks really cool. If I could just plant it on the mound, that would be nice, but I'm not going to do that. I am going to bonsai this a bit, and I'm not going to grow it in the same bonsai pot that I've used before. I found that, especially during the winter, it gets a lot of direct sunlight, just the angle of the sun, and that was drying it out too quickly. You can see a link to my previous What Went Wrong with My Avocado Bonsai there in the description. So I'm going to just put it in a regular pot. This is a small one. I could probably upsize it actually, looking at the size of this root ball. Like go the next size up. This is a 100 millimeter by 100 millimeter pot, so 100 millimeters in diameter and 100 millimeters deep. So it's a small pot, one of the smallest ones that I can kind of buy at a, that's a round one at a big box store. So I'm gonna dust off all of the coconut peat, the best that I can. I mean, coconut peat is in my soil mix, so I'm not too stressed about it. And we're left with actually a really good looking root system. Like, if I'd taken this out, you know, 3 months ago, this would have been a very reasonable looking tree. And it's now just an unusual one, which is fine. I'm okay with some quirky trees. So it's got a good looking root ball there. And let's get it into a pot. So we're going to put it in this pot, which actually, looking at this, is going to be a great size pot for it. And then we'll talk about the shaping of it. So for my potting mix, I'm using my regular avocado mix, for which you can find a link in the description below, as always. But it's 1 part coconut peat, so it's actually the same stuff that I've used to grow it in. 1 part the cheapest potting mix that I can find. It's like $3 or $4 a bag from Bunnings. And then 2 parts perlite. I've got a fairly chunky one today, which looking forward to using. Actually, a friend gave me this one because she bought way more than she could ever use for her orchids. So thanks for that, Lisa. There's also a good healthy amount of slow release fertilizer in there. So I'm going to start filling this pot up. We're gonna put this in, we'll backfill, and then we'll talk about what happens next. We don't want too much right at the bottom because I'll put a root down there. When I'm backfilling a tree that has been grown not in potting mix, so if I'm totally changing the medium over, so like coconut peat or just water, I like to give it lots of little shakes as I put it in so that the potting mix can get all in around the roots, because I don't want to have massive holes anywhere or any massive pockets of air that don't have roots or potting mix in them. All right, I am pretty happy with that. It's gonna obviously fill the pot out now, like the roots are gonna take a little bit of time to adjust to being in a new potting media, and it's pretty stressful being moved around like that, so I'm not gonna do too much more. I'll water this in a moment, and I'll put this in a similar spot actually to where it was, so that it gets a good amount of indirect light and some direct light during the day, especially indoors. You know, avocados need a good amount of light. High light positions indoors are great for avocados. They are a tree, and they need a lot of light. If you're gonna grow an avocado bonsai outside, probably best not to because the pot's too small, but bright indirect light outside, mostly shade is good for that. Anyway, so what am I gonna do with this now? So it's got this really funky looking shape, and because it's been growing for a few months, I'm pretty sure if I leave it as is, the bits that have already grown are gonna be locked in that position, which it makes for a really cool tree. If I wanted it to grow like a regular tree, we'd have a problem. I'd probably cut it right back down to a node nice and low. I want to keep accentuating this. I'm gonna let it grow for the next little while and just see what happens. And if the tree survives and I start doing some more shaping, I'll make a video about it. For today, I'm actually just gonna leave it here, and we'll come back for a video in the future to see what's happened. And then perhaps we'll get some wire in and we'll start doing some more shaping, because it's kind of got, actually it's kind of got like two kind of helix shapes going on. Like if you look down, like one branch is going around in this, from top down, this anti-clockwise direction, and one started anti-clockwise and then is now switching to go clockwise because it must have bumped into something and then it's just been caught in the rim of the jar. So if we could get kind of like a double helix going with this tree, I mean, that'd be really cool. I'm not really sure yet at the moment. I'm just gonna wait for it to do its thing. I'm gonna try and keep it in a pot this kind of size, unless I change my mind and I wanna upsize it and have like this really weird, bushy, thick looking tree. I have no idea. It currently doesn't really have any leaves, so getting that sun's gonna be really important for it. It didn't have a chance really to make any in the jar, so we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens there. So, avocado enthusiasts, I'm gonna leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any predictions or any ideas, any suggestions for this particular tree, please leave them in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed to Scott Grows an Avocado Tree for all kinds of avocado and other general plant growing videos. I'm also on Instagram at Scott Grows an Avocado Tree, and if you would like more of me, perhaps videos that aren't about avocados or plants, I invite you to check out That's Pretty Cool, where I make videos on all kinds of subjects that fill me with a sense of curiosity and wonder. We delve into questions and we explore them, and we have a lot of fun over there. But for now, folks, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree.